Hey guys, what's going on? This is Awais back with the fourth part of our Blender Essential training. So in this video, I'll be explaining some of the mesh objects first, and then we will start creating our minion character. So if you have any question, let me know in the comments below and subscribe to the channel, and you can follow me on Twitter at Awais Mirza01. So let's get started. Alright, so first we're gonna look at some mesh objects. So I'm just gonna right click on it to select that and delete this object. Gonna click on it, and here we got some mesh objects. We got plane, cube, circle, UV sphere, ICO sphere, cylinder, cone, torus, and a funny one is a monkey. So let's start creating some mesh objects. So first of all, I'm gonna create a plane. So now I've got the plane there, right? So I'm just gonna zoom in, or maybe I can just bring that in the middle. If I select that, as you can see that I've got this option here, offset, but now I have moved that object, so I'm just gonna delete that. Just gonna show you one thing here. So if I go and create another plane here, alright, so now as you can see that I've got few options here. Before, if I click somewhere else, these options will go away. So here we got generate UV, and then we got radius here. So if I can increase that, it is going to increase the size of it. So you can click and drag, I can click and then give a value as well. Down here we got the location where this object exists in our 3D space. So x value 0, y 0, this is mean that it's on the center. Rotation, you can rotate it right there. So I'm just gonna bring it back to 0, and then if I click somewhere, alright, and I deselect that by pressing A, and now if I select that again, these menus will not come back. Alright, so let's go and delete this. Press delete and click on delete, and then I'm gonna add some cube. So if I click on the cube, it's going to create a cube where our 3D cursor was. So my x value is 0, so I'm gonna change that to 0, 0, 0 to make that in the center. Oh god, of rotation, I can rotate this object. I'm just gonna expand that a little bit, and you got your radius here as well. So to look at a better way, I'm gonna go and change this to wireframe. Now if I got this, as you can see that I'm increasing or decreasing the size. This is my x value for the rotation. I'm gonna delete that now, and let's look at the next one. So we got circle here. So this is just a 2D based circle. You can extrude that later on. So this is just a circle for now. Alright, so I'm just gonna bring my 3D cursor in the center by pressing Ctrl C, and then I'm going to create another one, which is UV sphere. So I'm gonna zoom in and pan a little bit. Alright, so now we can look at it better way. Alright, so now I've got this segment, so I can increase or decrease the segment, so I can increase the rings. Alright, so as you can see that you can create that kind of object. So I'm just gonna change that to solid to show you guys. Next we got location and rotation as well, so I can align this to view. So let's say I'm gonna click on it, so now it's gonna align that to the view. As you can see that there's another option here, so I'm gonna uncheck that, and now let's go and create another one. First let me delete that, and then let's go and create the ICO circle. So here we got subdivisions. Just gonna change that to wireframe, so we'll look at it better way. So as you can see that, alright, so we got size of that, location and rotation. Let's get rid of it by pressing delete key and click on delete. Let's go and create a cylinder. We got vertical segments, and we got the radius, and we got depth. Alright, and then we got align to view and generate UVs. Location, rotations there as well. Let's get rid of it. The next one we got here is cone. It is going to be the same thing. You got vertices there, you got radius of that, and you got radius, second radius, so you can create a second radius as well. I'm gonna change that to shaded. Now you can see that you got depth. Alright, so it's pretty cool. I'm gonna delete it, and then we add another one. So torus, it's pretty much the same thing. Align to view, you got a few operations here for that. Location, rotations there. So major segments, basically let's change that to wireframe, and these are the major segments. You got minor segments there, and then if you go down, you got radius, major and minor. Okay, that's kind of thickness. Alright, let's get rid of it. And then next one we got monkey. It's basically, let's go and change this to solid. It's a monkey face. You can use that, but there's not much to do in it. So I've got radius, location, and rotation. Alright guys, so before we jump into the actual modeling, clicking on add and go to mesh, and I'm gonna click on sphere. Now let's zoom into this sphere. Okay, so I'm gonna go and change this to a wireframe. So as you can see that we got our sphere done. At the left I've got this segment option. I'm just going to reduce that. Alright, that's 20 is fine, and then rings 15 are fine. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a few selection. Alright, so let's say I want to go to my edit mode. Click here and then go to edit mode. Let's say you make a primitive such as sphere, right? And you're going to go and change this and convert this to an actual model. You need to go to the edit mode. So I'm in edit mode right now, and I'm going to press A to deselect everything. And then here I've got three options. Alright, so I've got face, edges, and vertices. So let's say if I click here, I will select that vertices. You can select multiple vertices by holding shift key and then click. Alright, so once I'm done with selection, as you can see that I've selected some of the vertices at the back as well. Anything you see in your view, that will work. So if I go and press A now, and I'm gonna go change this to solid, and now if I try to select my vertices, right, hold on shift key and select the vertices, and I will just gonna orbit at the back. So I did not select any vertices at the back. The reason why, in Blender you only select whatever you see. Okay, so let's say I'll select these vertices, right? So right now I'm in a global, so I can move these vertices, and then I can rotate this by clicking here. I can rotate that, I can scale it. Alright, it's not gonna work because it's just the vertices, so I'm gonna go change this to move now. And let's select edge now. So I'm gonna click on here, and now I can select any of the edge. So I'm gonna select a few edges. Let's say this works, right? And then I can move this, and I can even rotate that, as you can see that. Alright, and I can scale that as well by clicking here, and then you can scale it. Alright, so let's go back into the move now. And now one more thing I want to show you here is if you change this to local, the reason why our gizmo did not change because our object is basically aligned to the word axis. So I'm gonna go and change this to normal. So in normal, aligns according to our selection. So now if I select this edge, now my gizmo is going to be aligned to this edge. Alright, so you can change this and play around with these. So the normal one is the most probably I will use in this video. So you got the view and you got the gimbal as well. Let's say if I have this view, right, and I want to select this edge, so if I change this to view, now it's going to align to the view. Whatever the view is, it's going to align to that. Alright, so let's go back to normal now. Let's go and select the face now. So as you can see, once I click on it, our object changes. So I can select any face now, and I can change this to global, and I can move this if I want to move this according to the object. So I can change this to normal. You can even scale that by clicking here, and you can scale it, and you can rotate that. So we got three different things: vertices, edges, and faces in our edit mode. There are three options here: vertices, edge, and faces, right? So you can get to them by pressing Control Tab, which is really easy, and then it's gonna make your work faster. Let me show you a few different ways of selection. So now I'm gonna press A to deselect everything, and then I want to select a multiple faces here. So what I can do, I can hold on shift key and keep clicking, but sometimes, you know, there's so many of faces you want to select, so you can just type B. Let's say if I hit B here, I get this window, and then I'm gonna go and then click and drag, and now I can select all the faces. As you can see that I did not select any face at the back because I wasn't looking at them. So if we want to select the whole faces, let's say I'll press A to deselect, and I'm gonna go and change this to wireframe. Alright, and now if I press B and I click and drag, and now I can select all the faces around, and then I'm gonna deselect them by just clicking here, shift key, and then just deselect. So you can do that by, let's say if I press B again and then hold on shift key and then drag, click and drag, and you can deselect. So I can scale them now. Let's say if I want to scale them, I can scale. So you can just make any kind of shape you want in the edit mode. Now I want to show you one more type of selection here. So I'm going to change this to solid, and then if you press C, you get this circle. Scroll your mouse wheel up or down to make bigger circle or smaller circle. So anything comes in this circle, it will be selected. And then I'm gonna press right click to finish the operation. So there's another kind of selection here. If you hold down your control key and click and drag, so this is called a lasso selection. So you can select that way as well. Alright, so now I'm in my edit mode. I'm going to show you a few more things here. Okay, so let's say I'm going to go and turn off this X-ray mode. By the way, this is the X-ray mode. If you click on it, you can see through your object. And let's say I want to select this whole ring of vertices, right? Either way, you have to hold on your shift key and then select all the vertices, or you can go to your front view and just going to go back to my front view, hold down shift key and then pan. I'm just going to zoom in, select all the vertices. All right, or you can press B and then you can select all the vertices there. But there's another way and more productive way to do that. I'm gonna go back and then press A to deselect everything, and then I'm gonna just pan it. And then let's say if I want to select the whole ring of vertices, so what do? Hold on your Alt key and then right click. I'm going to select the whole ring around your object. So I'm going to turn off this X-ray mode, A for deselect, and if I hold my Alt key now and right click, it is still going to select all the vertices around your object in a loop orbit. Let's say if orbit, it's still selecting everything all the way around. Alright, so the Alt key is pretty useful, and I'm just gonna pan it first. Alright, so Alt key is pretty useful. You can do that on edges and faces as well. So let's say I'll press A to deselect and I click on edges. You can get vertices, edges and faces by pressing Control Tab, and then here I will select edges, and then let's say if I select this edge and then hold my Alt key and then click, it's gonna select all the ring. If I select these vertices and then gonna go and select one of the vertices here, and if I move it, as you can see that I'm getting this hard edge. Alright, so there is one option in the mesh menu, proportional editing. So if I go and click on connected, alright, and now if I try to move it, as you can see that I get that circle. So if I move that vertex now, as you can see that we get that smooth moving. Alright, if you press G key and you get that circle there, if you move your cursor, as you can see that you can move that vertex. So this is called proportional editing as well. So I just want to press the G key again and then right click to finish the operation. So here in the proportional editing flag off, you can select smooth, square, root, inverse, square, sharp. Alright, if I select that sharp and then I go and enable my proportional editing, and if I move that now, as you can see that it's more sharper now. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna build my cartoon model in Blender. So the first thing what I'm going to do is go to my edit mode. I've got this cube. I'm gonna start with the cube, and then in the left transform menu, you go and click on subdivide. It's going to make a subdivide in the cube. So I'm going to, number of cuts would be 6. Okay, and then just count these faces, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 faces we got here, right, which are fine. And then I'm going to click on smooth vertices. So click here, just make sure that it's a little bit smoother, right? So I'm gonna press Ctrl Z, that's fine. Alright, and then go to your top view by pressing 7 on numpad, and then just select the face. You can select face from here, click here, and now you get to select the face. I'm gonna go back to my perspective view. Just want to show you one thing, that if you press Control Tab, you get the option to select face, vertex or edge. So I'm gonna click on face, and then make sure that your proportional editing is on. Click on enable, and then just move it a little bit up. As you can see that it's moving up with a very smooth. Okay, so we got that now. It's kind of head here. Alright, so we done that, and the next thing what I'm going to do is cut a loop in. So click here, and I'm gonna cut a loop in the middle here. Alright, so I've got that now. So every time you make a cartoon or any character model, it's good idea to use the modifiers. So I'm gonna use a mirror modifier now. So I'm gonna click on here to turn on my X-ray mode, and then I'm gonna press B and then select this part of our drawing, and maybe change that to vertices, and then press B and then select all the vertices from there, and then delete, click on vertices. Alright, so now we got over one side of our object, and then I'm gonna go to my object mode and then go to the properties, click here and add modifier called mirror. So now this is perfectly fine. I'm gonna go select the face, this face. Well, turn off your X-ray mode by pressing Z, and then select that face from the front. Well, now you need to turn off proportional editing, and then let's make another cut. So I'm gonna click here and make another loop here, and then another one about here. Alright, and then we're gonna select two faces. I'm gonna go and make sure that I'm on faces, select this face and this face. Alright, so maybe you can select this face and this face. This is better for the eye. Alright, I'm just gonna move them a little bit up. Let's say if I can move this a little bit up. Yep. Alright, so now I'm gonna go and click on this extrude region, and then you get to extrude. Alright, there's an error now, so I'm gonna turn off snapping option now, and then I'm going to move this a little bit down. That wouldn't work, so I'm going to click on this and enable that, and I'm just gonna move this a little bit down. Alright, so now we can extrude that. So I'm gonna extrude this, let's say extrude it a little bit back here, and then click on extrude again to take it back for the eye. So as you can see, that any changes you make here, it's going to mirror on the other side. Okay, so we got that now, and then I'm going to go to my quad view, toggle quad view on, and then make a 3D cursor about here to the vertices mode, and then click here in the middle, and then click about here. Alright, and then from the top, that's fine, and that's pretty much fine now. Okay, so now let's go to our perspective view by clicking Alt Control Q, and then create a sphere. I'm gonna go create, and then create, let's say UV sphere. That's too big, so I'm gonna press S for scale. So I'm just going to decrease that. Alright, and then maybe I have to move that a little bit to the front, change that, and then grab your green vertices and just maybe change that here. Okay, and then a little bit left. Okay, so that is okay now. Maybe let's bring it outside a little bit outside. Yep, that looks much better. Okay, so we got those eyes done now. We will apply some texture later on. And the next, what we're gonna do here is select the faces. Select this face and select this face. Maybe go to your tools and then cut another loop here. So I'm gonna click here and maybe about here, cut a loop here, and then go and select the face. So let's go and select the face here. Select this face, maybe this face and this face. They're fine. And then I'm gonna extrude them, extrude region. So this is giving error. The reason why is because we did not attach those vertices properly, so that's fine. Just extrude them a little bit. Okay, alright, so we can attach those vertices now. So I'm just gonna select those faces. I'm just going to move them here. Alright, that is fine. Alright, so now let's select those vertices. Click here, select this vertex, and hold on shift key, select this vertex and select this, and then drag it backwards. Okay, so this is going to be our some kind of nose now. So I'm going to drag these vertices, these two vertices, a little bit up, and then select this vertex and drag it out, and then select this and this and take it back a little bit here. Alright, it's cool. So we got our nose done, we got the eyes done. Now let's go to our left view. I'm gonna press 3 to go to the right view now, and then select this face. Click on here and then select this face and this face. Alright, maybe we get this face. This is straightforward face, so that's better. And then I'm going to extrude that. Click here. I can select a region as well, so I'm just gonna extrude that a little bit here, and then press S to scale it down. I'm gonna scale it down to about here, and then extrude that again. So I'm gonna extrude it about, let's say, here, and then we can extrude the region again, such as about here. Okay, and then we'll move that. So I'm gonna go and turn on this proportional editing, and then I'm just going to move this face. Alright, let's go and select the vertices. That's gonna be a bit better on the both side now, and then press right click to finish the operation, and then let's change that to a 3D model. Okay, so far we have this, and then let's make this a mouth. Alright, so I'm just gonna pan it now, and then go to your front view by pressing 1, and then zoom in. Okay, so here I need another loop here, so I'm gonna click loop cut slide, and then click here, and which is fine here. Alright, and then let's select some vertex now. So I'm gonna select this vertex, take this down. Is it giving us error? Now this is perfectly fine, so select that vertex, and let's turn off this. I'm gonna press undo, Control Z, alright, and turn off your proportional editing. Okay, and then just take this down, take this vertex down, take this vertex a bit more down here, a little bit more down, and then take this a little bit up, and this is the same thing happening there. So I'm gonna go and click on cut loop. So I'm gonna try selecting this one. So first of all, Alt and select the whole lot here, and then you can go click cut loop, and then it's gonna try cutting the same kind of loop there, as you can see that. Alright, so as you can see that it's giving us angle now. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm gonna go and select the faces. Okay, so let's go and click here and then select these two faces. Alright, and then we will extrude them inside. Okay, I'm gonna go and extrude them inside, like about here, first here, and then extrude them again inside, and we have pretty much fine. This is pretty much fine. Okay, alright, so this is fine. This is what we have right now. We got the face done now, and then I'm gonna go and apply a modifier. So I'm gonna apply this mirror modifier. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my object mode and apply that modifier. Now we got the one object. It's not it's not mirroring anymore. I'm gonna go and click on subdivision. Okay, so you can apply a bit more. Let's say this guy got two nose actually. Okay, so this is what we have right now. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video, and this is just a basic modeling video and give you an idea of basic commands such as extrusion, and I've shown you one modifier called subdivision surface. Alright, in the next video we're gonna make a bit more advanced model. Alright, so stay tuned for that and subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.